Hey guys, tonight's movie review is for The Book of Life, starring the voice talents of Zoe Saldana, Channing Tatum, and Diego Luna. A little bit about this movie. This movie basically revolves around three characters: Maria, played by Zoe Saldana, Joaquin, played by Channing Tatum, and Manolo, played by Diego Luna. And at the beginning of the movie, they are lifelong friends. They're kids that are just the best of friends. And also near the beginning of the movie, there is a wager. The movie starts around the time of the year in Mexico, which is they are in Mexico, and it starts around the Day of the Dead, which is a tradition. The families go, they place things at the gravesites of loved ones they've lost, and they believe that the loved ones, their presence is basically there with them on that day. And there are also, you learn, kind of three realms in the world. There is the real world where we all are when we're living. There is the land of the remembered where people go when they die, and then there's the land of the forgotten, which either no one really remembers them when they die, or as they start to get forgotten by people, they go from the land of the remembered to the land of the forgotten, which is kind of a dingy, dark, really sad place. And they're these two godlike people who rule those two lands. There's a woman who runs the land of the remembered, and there's a man who runs the land of the forgotten. And he's kind of grown tired of being down there in such a dark, sad place. He wants to be where the party is, in the land of the remembered, where every day is kind of this colorful festival. So they make a wager between these three kids. Which boy is going to end up marrying or having the love of Maria? Is it going to be Joaquin or Manolo? So the man, he takes Joaquin, the woman takes Manolo. They make a bet. Also near the beginning of the movie, there is kind of an event in town which causes Maria's father to send her away to kind of grow up away from Mexico in Spain. So the next part of the movie, you kind of see how the two boys grow up. You see Manolo, whose his father's father before him, his whole family is matadors. He's expected to be a matador, but he loves music. He loves playing on his guitar, and that's his real passion. But as he's being raised, he's being trained to be this matador. And Joaquin ends up kind of being the town hero. He gets trained to be the guy who earns all these medals and saves everybody. And that's kind of what his place in life is. So then you fast forward to where they're all adults, and Maria comes back into the town. And, now they're adults. Now the wagers begin. Who's going to end up getting her love? Is it going to be Manolo? Is it going to be Joaquin? And you see kind of this connection that she has to each person, but you don't know who she's going to pick. And also it involves Manolo in his pursuit of Maria having to go to all these different worlds, having to go to the land of the remembered and the land of the forgotten, and you don't know if he's going to be able to get out of those places. You don't know who's going to end up with Maria's love. It's kind of what the movie's about. Now, this is produced by Guillermo del Toro, who has made some fantastic movies, but he is kind of crazy and strange, and you definitely see that in this film. Visually, it is just stunning. It's not like anything you've ever seen in a kid's movie. The kind of colors they use, and just the kind of, not fabric because it's computerized, but the textures that they use. A lot of these characters, they almost look like wooden dolls, or they have all these like joints and buckles and interesting pieces to their body. It's not like anything that you've ever seen before. It's definitely different. It's definitely new. Definitely my favorite part of the movie. It's so visually stunning. It's so interesting to look at. The story itself, I mean, what is good about it is that it's new. I mean, I've never seen anything that really explores the Day of the Dead. You don't see many movies about Hispanic culture. So I think that's really cool, especially for a kids movie, to introduce kids to a different culture, different beliefs. I think that's always good. The way the story is, though, it's not always clear what's happening. And I don't know if that's kind of the point, that it's supposed to be crazy and disjointed, but it didn't flow very well. It was kind of hard to keep track of what was going on at some points. And I don't know, it was just kind of strange. And then one thing that it was strange, I didn't like, there was singing in this movie. But not that there's anything wrong with singing in movies, but it was just so random and so strange, and the song choices were so weird, especially for a kids movie. I mean, one of the songs was "Creep," which it was a song from the late '90s. If you're familiar with what it is, it's just a strange song choice for a kids movie, and just the placement of the songs was weird. It was awkward. I mean, near the end of the movie, Zoe Saldana's character is like, "Okay, cool. So let's sing a song," and then they break into a song. Like, how weird is that? You know, if it's gonna be that disjointed, don't have songs in the movie. I don't understand why they were in there. Um, So I would give this movie a C minus. I think that it's really good to have this subject matter because I don't think you see it very much, and it was visually stunning, but sometimes that just doesn't add up, especially if the story just isn't really there. And in this case, it just wasn't. I just didn't really know what to think about it, and it just wasn't anything that will become a kid's classic, unfortunately. I wouldn't really even recommend seeing it, especially when you have some other kids' movies coming out this fall. Um, but it might at least be worth a video rental, especially for the visual aspect. But that's all I got. Unfortunately, doesn't really live up to some of Guillermo del Toro's other projects, and it's just kind of too weird. I would give it a C minus for tonight. If you have any comments, if you're looking forward to this movie, any comments on any of his other films, I'd be happy to hear what you have to say below. And please, if you have a moment, I'd love if you would subscribe and be able to see other reviews that I'm doing. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time.